Good morning, students. So now it's time for your business studies class. So today we will start our next chapter, chapter number 4, authority, responsibility and accountability. In this chapter we are going to discuss the meaning and definition of authority, responsibility and accountability. After that, we will discuss its interrelationship between authority, responsibility, and accountability, various sources of authority, the concept of delegation of authority, principles of delegation of authority, the concept of centralization and decentralization of authority, and last one, difference between delegation and decentralization of authority. So today we will discuss our first three topics, in which we are going to discuss today that the meaning and definition of the three concepts, authority, responsibility and accountability. After that we will discuss its interrelationship and various sources of authority. So first of all, we will discuss some key terms that today we are using in behind of these three topics. So first one is that authority, responsibility and accountability. So first of all, authority. Like there are various examples in our real life also where the upper level or the upper authority uses this power to control their subordinates. Like teacher has a right to conduct a test in a class. Likewise, government has the right to make rules and regulations in the country. For example, like due to the disease of COVID-19, the government has made a rule to wear masks, use sanitizers and social distancing. Likewise, in a business where an owner has the right to give orders to his employees, and likewise the employees has to work. Right? So this is called as the authority in real life, where the authority means the rights and the powers of an individual to command his subordinates so that he can take decisions in the workplace. Next one is responsibility. Like we are responsible for someone else, because in the world each and every person has a responsibility. Like parents has a responsibility towards their children to give them a better education, better other facilities also. So likewise, there are other examples like students have to give their work on time to their teachers. So that is the responsibility of students to do a work on time. Likewise, children have to obey the instructions of their parents and elders. Then in the business world, we can say that employees or workers have to complete their work on time. So this is the another way that the responsibility, we use the word in the business world. So the definition of responsibility is an obligation or a duty, or it refers to a task or job assigned and its effective completion in favor of an individual in an organization. Next one is accountability. So like an example of accountability is when an employee admits an error she made on a project. Means now he is accountable for his mistakes. Likewise, in a business, if the owner or boss gives a work to employees to produce 1000 meters cloth in 5 hours, and if the employees complete their work in time, then that means they were accountable because they were accomplished their work in time and they were producing or they were doing their responsibility as accordingly. So an accountable person, we can say that it is an individual who is ultimately answerable for the activity or decision. So these are the three terms that we are using in our further topics. So first of all, we will go for our first topic, that is meaning of authority. As there are other lots of examples that we can find in our environment, like a father asks his son to wash a car. That means the father has authority where he can give the work to the other person who is subordinate to him. Similarly, a teacher asks the students to give a test. That means this is authority. Likewise, in a business, a boss or an owner directs his employees to work in the office and complete a project. So this means that the superiors or the higher has a authority or has a right or power to command the other persons. So if we talk about the meaning, that means it represents the rights and powers of an individual to command his subordinates so that to take various decisions in the workplace. Also, it flows from top to bottom because superior gives command to the subordinate. So in the various examples, we see that the superior means like father, teacher, or the owner or the boss of the business. They are at the superior and at the place of top who command the lower level of people. Then authority is restricted by different rules and regulations in an organization. So a person who has been provided authority is held accountable for performing a specific task or job assigned to him. So now we will discuss the definition of authority. So first of all, there is a first definition that is given by Henry Ford. So he says that authority is the right to give orders and the powers to exact obedience. Then the second definition is given by Edwin B. Filippo. He says that the authority is the right to decide what should be done and the right to do it or to require someone else to do it. And this is called as authority. So next one that we are going to discuss, that is features of authority. So first of all, that authority is given to individuals that working at different position and post in an organization and reflected through scalar chain principle that is adopted in the business. Like for example, first of all, there is an owner of the business, then there are some managers, and after that the managers have been appointed some employees. Means now the authority is given to the various individuals from the owners to the managers. They were working at the different positions and they have to work according to their authorities. Then it flows from superior to subordinates. Means first of all, there is a higher authority that is in the hands of the boss or the owner. After that, the authority is delegated to the managers, after that to some employees also. So in this way, the authority is going from upward to downward. Then the scope of authority is limited up to the extent the work assigned. Means how much the work is given to the managers. That authority is according to that work. Then authority is basically provided along with responsibility, because who has the authority, he is also responsible for the work that is given to his subordinates. Then the delegation of authority to an individual fixes his accountability, and after that, that authority should be equal to responsibility. Then whatever the work we are assigned to our subordinates, they will work accordingly. So next we will discuss the features. First of all, the meaning of responsibility. So first of all, like an example of responsibility is of a driver who stopped at the red light in an accident. Likewise, the responsibility to pay for a meal you ordered in a restaurant. Similarly, in a business, a responsibility is when the employees do a work on time with their ability and efficiency. So in this way, the responsibility is completed or the responsibility is accomplished in a business. Responsibility simply means that ability to respond. Whatever the task is given or whatever the things that are done by the employees, they have to respond, means they have to complete that work, and that is called as a responsibility. So simply the meaning, as we can say, that responsibility that refers to the task or the job assigned and its effective completion in favor of an individual in an organization. Means it is regarded as an obligation of employees in an organization to complete the task effectively. Then responsibility flows upwards in a concern ranging from subordinate to superior. So now this is the again that authority is going from superior to subordinate, but now the responsibility is that flows from subordinate to superior. Means now any work that is given by the manager and manager that shifted this work to their employees, means now the manager has the authority that he assigned his work or delegated his work to their employees. So now the employees have to complete that work and then respond to their managers. So that is why the responsibility flows from downwards to the upwards, means from employees to the managers and from managers to the boss or the owner of the business. So in this way the responsibility is done in the business. So an individual should be given authority along with responsibility. So now we will discuss the definition of responsibility. So first of all, there is a definition that is given by M. McFarland. So now we will discuss the definition of responsibility. So first of all, there is a definition that is given by McFarland. He says that responsibility can be defined as the duties and activities assigned to a position or an executive. Then the second definition that is given by Edwin B. Filippo, and he says that the responsibility is one's obligation to perform the functions assigned to the best of one's ability in accordance with directions received. So that means the both definitions were concluded that the responsibility is the duties and the activities that are given to the subordinates who has the ability to do the work. So now there are some features of responsibility. So first one is that we can conclude it from the meaning also, that is the obligation of an employee to complete the work that is assigned to him. So we can, second one is that it cannot be delegated to an individual, means now as the manager gives the responsibility to his employees to complete the work, so that responsibility is not to be given to another persons by the employees. So that is why we can say that it is or it cannot be delegated. It can only be imposed or fixed according to the abilities of an employees. Next one is that it comes into existence from the process of delegation of authority, because first of all that the authority is delegated from the boss to the manager and then manager to the employees. So in this way the responsibility comes into an existence. After that, it flows upwards from subordinates to the superiors. So that is why the responsibility flows from downward to the upward level, from subordinates to the superiors, or from the employees to the upper or higher authorities. So in this way, the responsibility works in an organization. So the next term is accountability. So now, for example, like accountability is when an employee admits an error she made on a project. Likewise, in a market, if a seller promises to provide after-sales services, but after selling the product, he denies to provide the services, that means he is not accountable. He is not completed his work. So that is called as a accountability. Likewise, in a business, if an owner or boss gives work to his employees to produce 1000 meters cloth in 5 hours, and if the employees complete their work in time, that means they are accountable. They were completed their work in time and they have a responsibility and they were completed it. So in this way, the accountability works with an responsibility. So now we will discuss the meaning of accountability. So in an organization, authority is delegated to workers along with equal amount of responsibility. So it is their obligation towards business to perform their work as specified and submit the performance report to the superiors. And this is termed as accountability. Means now, as the work is delegated to the employees, so employees is responsible and employees is accountable to their work. They have to finish their work in time, in proper abilities and capabilities, with the efficiency and effectiveness. So these are the things that is related to the accountability. So accountability cannot be delegated, as the employees gives the work, so employees have to finish the work. So employees cannot transfer it to the another person. So that is why we can say that it cannot be delegated. Also, it also moves upward, means from the subordinates to the superiors, means from employees to the employers or the managers. So the next one is the definition of accountability. So the first definition that is given by McFarlane, he says that accountability is the obligation of an individual to report formally to his superior about the work he has done to discharge the responsibility. Then second one definition that is given by Edwin B. Filippo, he says that accountability is the requirement of answerability for one's performance. Means now the employees are answerable or they are accountable to the work they have performed, and to whom they are accountable, to their superiors or the managers of the business. So this is the thing that the accountability includes. So now we will discuss some features of accountability. So first of all, that accountability shows the answerable approach of a subordinate to superiors for the final result that is performed by the subordinate. It cannot be delegated or transferred because employees are accountable for their work. They cannot transfer it to the another person, so that is why it is not delegated as compared to authority. So it concentrates on accomplishment of the work assigned to the workers. Means now the workers or the employees have to complete the work in time. So that is why it focuses on the accomplishment of the work. Then it flows in an upward direction, means from downward to the upward. That is from the subordinate will be held accountable for his work to the superiors. So these are the features that are related to the accountability. So next we will discuss the interrelationship between authority, responsibility and accountability. So first of all, that at the upper level there is authority, after that the responsibility, and then the accountability. So in this way the delegation is work in an organization. So in the interrelationship we are going to discuss, first of all, there is the meaning. So authority, that is, represents the rights and powers of an individual so that he can command his subordinates and take decisions in the workplace. Likewise, in the responsibility, it is related to the obligation of employees in an organization to complete the task effectively. Next, there is accountability. Means now, again, it is an obligation of an individual to report formally to his superior about the work he has done to discharge his responsibility. So as the superior says that he has to work or he has to make a 10 units of the product. So when he is completed his work and produced 10 units of cloth or the 10 units of the product, so that means he is accountable or he is answerable to his work. Then second one is delegation. So authority can be delegated, responsibility cannot be delegated, and also the accountability is not delegated, or it is not possible in case of accountability that it is or it can be delegated. Next one is origin. So authority emerges from a formal position, means from higher authorities. Responsibility can be imposed along with the delegation of authority. But accountability, it arises from imposition of responsibility. Means where there is a responsibility, there is a accountability for that work also. Next one is flow. Means authority flows from upward to downward, from superior to subordinate. But responsibility flows from upward direction, means from subordinates to their superiors. Then the accountability, it flows from or upward trend, means from again subordinate to superiors. So in this way there is a relationship between authority, responsibility and accountability. So now there is some sources of authority. So first of all, the first source is formal authority theory. In this, like for example, that the policemen are provided authority to investigate and arrest a person that indulged in a crime or even suspected to maintain a law and order in a society. So that means the policeman has a formal authority, means the authority that is provided by the rules and regulations or by the legal way. So as per the formal authority theory, authority lies in the hands of the people who stand up at the top level of a business enterprise and delegates to the subordinates. So authority is of legal nature or abided by the legal rules and regulations. So that is why this is called as a formal authority theory, because there are some rules and regulations that has to be followed, and in this way this authority works. In this, the another examples, like we can conclude that teacher, principal. After that, formal authorities, there is some officers that are working in their areas. So all of them is included in this formal authority theory. Next one is acceptance authority theory. Like suppose a teacher gives a test to the students and students accept and do their test, that is acceptance authority. But if the students deny, then there is no relevance of this theory. Likewise, if a boss gives work to the employees and employees work accordingly, so that means they were accepted the order of their superior, and in this way acceptance authority theory implies in an organization. So acceptance of authorities delegated by the formal authorities is treated as the most important aspect in a business concern, because there is no value of exercise of authorities if no one or if not accepted by the subordinates. For example, like now the government says that we have to wear a mask, we have to use sanitizers, we have to maintain a social distancing with the other people. So that means that now we are accepting it, we are wearing the mask, or we are keeping social distancing in the places, right? So that means we are accepted it, and in this way the acceptance authority theory implies. So it largely depends on the interest or willingness of the acceptor whether to accept the authority issued from the top level management or not. So the value or importance of formal authorities goes in vain when the orders are not accepted and followed. So the next one is competence authority theory. For example, like if a patient goes to a doctor and the patient listens and obeys his advice, it is just because of his knowledge and the qualities and not for his formal position or authority. Means now in this we can say that we are completing or we are listening to other people because he is experienced, he is knowledgeable, or he is skilled, not to his formal authority. So a person may obtain authority due to his competence and skill in an organization. As per this theory, a person may get his work done without having any formal authority by using his personal qualities like technical competence, management skills, experience and social status. So in this way we are following or we are listening to the other people. Like now we are obeys the order of our parents or obeys our grandparents. Why? Because they were experienced, they have a knowledge, they have a skills, and they were experienced for their ages, that what is right for us or what is not. So these are the things that are imply in the competence authority theory. So today we have discussed first of all the meaning and definition of authority, responsibility and accountability. After that we had discussed that interrelationship between authority, responsibility and accountability. And after that we had discussed the various sources of authority, that how and why the subordinates followed the superiors. So now the time is for homework. So first of all there is a question that is, define the concept of authority and responsibility. Then your second question is, explain the interrelationship between authority, responsibility and accountability. So go through the various other links that are provided in the YouTube related to the topic authority, responsibility and accountability, so that you can write the better answer of these questions.